Well, I'm here because I consider myself an ally for animals. These are animal performers who are born into slavery, and they're basically forced to work their entire lives. They're stuck on these train cars for 11 months of the year, and sometimes they're anywhere from a day up till several days on these carts without any cleaning or ventilation. And these, especially the elephants, are herd animals who travel miles and miles each day. So the fact that we're treating these animals this way is completely disrespectful, and it's absurd to think that Ringling brothers can take care of wild animals who are confined for the majority of their lives.
What do you hope to do today?
Well, we hope to present ourselves to the public as a new group, Portland Animal Liberation. We want some exposure, so that's part of it, but we mainly want to just educate the public on the plight of animals, and we have a unique approach. As you can see back there, we have this cutout photo booth and kind of more fun signs, because we don't think it's not a unfriendly message to families to talk about how we love and respect animals. So we want to kind of gain trust to the families and kids in ways that other groups might not.
You say they're born in captivity. Lay that on how that works. They born in zoos and then they're bought in zoos, or how is that?
Yeah, there's lots of different ways it happens. Elephants, because of the Endangered Species Act, aren't taken from the wild anymore and just exported here, at least not legally. So a lot of the elephants that are brought into the circus have come from zoos, but Ringling Brothers actually has an elephant conservation center in Florida, and they've had that for the past decade. And basically they've have had 23 babies now. One was just born earlier this year. And footage just from a year or two ago from PETA showed undercover footage of how they actually rope the elephant calves up and stretch them out and basically humiliate them and break their spirit at an early age. So, but there are elephants who also come from zoos, like Sabu, who recently passed away. He came from the Oregon Zoo with another elephant. So, the zoos definitely contribute to the torment that a lot of the animals face in the circus. With Portland Animal Liberation, we're starting a campaign. We'll see where it goes. Basically, we have kind of three aspects of our campaign. One is to have people boycott Ringling Brothers just because of the inherent abuse to the animals and not attend the shows or return to a show next year. The second is to put pressure on the Rose Quarter, because they're the ones who hold the venue. If Ringling Brothers can't come to a venue, they'll have to find another one, or they just won't be able to come to Portland. And that would kick them out of the city, but also put a dent into their pocketbook. And then third, we want to focus on one of the elephants who's performing tonight, named Carol. And Carol is a elephant who was born in the wild. She's almost been working in circuses now for 40 years. And she has an interesting past, including back in 1990, she accidentally or perhaps intentionally killed an employee of one of the circuses she was with. And just recently this year, she was shot by just someone on the street. So we think instead of sending her back into these train carts to live a miserable life, we'd like her to be retired at an elephant sanctuary. There's two in this country, one in California and Tennessee. So we hope to have the hashtag #FreeCarol40 get people taking pictures and kind of social networking with that. And there's many circuses that run across the country every year. I think there's a lot of local ones, things like Coles, and there's like Carson and Barnes. I believe those are a couple of the bigger ones. And Ringling Brothers, they do have two more troops. This is the Gold Troop. It's the smallest one. It's only one ring. There's 3 elephants in the show, I believe. The other ones have 6 and 9, the Red and Blue Troop. They're much larger. So, yeah, the animals we see here, there's many more beyond those.
Yeah, it is. My first protest. I've never really done anything like this before, but I understand how these animals get treated, and it's wrong, so I'm here to try and change someone's mind.
How long have you known about the treatment before you finally got active?
Oh, probably a long time. I've known, you kind of know things and you don't think about them. It's the same with like eating meat and like understanding where the meat's coming from. I've known that for a long time, and I'm only recently close to being vegetarian, not quite, but getting closer. And it's, you know, because I know that, you know, animals are treated horribly in captivity, and so, you know, it's wrong, and I'm trying to do more and more as much as I can, I guess.
Fighting for animal rights, that's what we're doing here. Elephant rights. Animals should not be in circuses. They should not be treated like this. Entertainment should be left for humans, not animals.
Just here to protest Ringling and the circus and the use of animal circuses, and let people know that there's no humane way of training circus animals, that they use fear, intimidation, and violence to get the animals to do what they want, and it's really cruel and it needs to stop.
I just believe that animals aren't ours to exploit, and they deserve a chance at free life like everybody else, and it's not fair for us to confine them and put them through, take them state to state, and they're uncomfortable and in bad conditions, and they don't treat the elephants very well, and I just don't believe it's right. They're not ours to confine.
Yeah, so we're out here tonight because we want folks to understand that the circus isn't all fun and games. These animals are forced to perform through threats of intimidation and violence. And I think that if people really understood what goes into making a performance like Ringling Brothers, that they wouldn't involve their kids in it.
So what do you hope to achieve here today?
We hope to try to raise awareness. We hope to try to reach some people and you know, appeal to their compassionate side, and hopefully some of these folks, if they still go in, at least they understand the other side of what these animals go through.
Now, what people see in the ring is one thing, but what kind of training do these animals go through?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, elephants in particular, they're 10,000-pound animals, and there's no way to make a 10,000-pound animal do what you want to do without threats of violence and intimidation. And so that's basically what they do. They beat them, they intimidate them, and they force them to perform.
So do you know, like maybe showing how they train the baby elephants that you could refer him to, a good video?
Yeah, you know, I mean, PETA's got a lot of great video, a lot of great photographs, and I don't know if I've got this story exactly right, but I know that PETA acquired some really damaging pictures of a baby elephant being trained years ago at Ringling's facility in Florida. My understanding of that is that it was the trainer that had photographed those images and sent them to PETA did it posthumously. He died and then sent them a cache of photos, I guess, because he had sort of a deathbed, you know, reconciliation. Exactly, right. And so we sent them a big pile of photographs of a baby elephant being trained, and it's just horrific stuff. I mean, it's the elephant he's being bull hooked, he's tethered, he's being brutalized. I mean, have you seen the photos at all, Courtney?
I've seen some, but I haven't seen them all.
If you just Google that, if you Google the you know, Ringling Brothers baby elephant training or whatever, you'll find a whole cache of those photos. There's a ton of them out there. In fact, there may even be some posters here from PETA that have some of those images on them tonight. I'm not sure. And then PETA did a couple of undercover investigations too, where they got cameras behind the scenes, and you know, they show the trainers smacking the elephants in the faces with the bull hooks, and you know, they rotate the animals through. You know, the elephants that are here now will get a break in a few months, and it's like, you know, that's great. You know, they get to go to Florida for a few months until they're forced to travel and perform again. But the bottom line is the same. They're going to be forced to travel. They're going to be forced to perform. They were forced into, you know, learning these tricks by being brutalized. I mean, it doesn't change the underlying problem. They can give them all the rest that they want, but it doesn't change the underlying problem. They're being forced to perform these tricks. It's not anything that comes natural to them. It's not anything that they would do on their own or in the wild. And if they don't do it, they get whacked with a bull hook.
You know, that brings up a thought I had. That they're very family-oriented animals.
They are.
And they kept in any kind of family units, and also if they make friends in one spot, as you say, they move them around.
Right.
So they don't establish any.
Yeah. No. I mean, the family bond is completely broken up in the circus. Obviously, I mean they can't keep them together in a family unit. So they're you know, the families are cast to the wind. So. And
so any kind of relationship as far as copulation. It's just like
fleeting.
It's like an arranged situation.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be fleeting. Whoever they're chained beside today, whoever they're chained beside today, they may not be chained beside tomorrow. So.
Just here to support the animals. I mean, they're
increase the awareness of what the animals go through in the zoo. I mean, in the circus here.
We're conflicted in that, but they do a lot of education at the zoo. I would much rather see these people going to the zoo than to here. You know, a lot of people will never see these animals in their lifetime, and so they can go to the zoo and experience that, and then also learn about their plight, their you know, losing all their habitat. And so the zoo is very good about teaching people that, you know, we have to save that and preserve that. And
You know, we went to Thailand. We worked at one of the, what was that?
Elephant Nature Park.
Oh.
You know,
In Thailand?
In Thailand,
Oh,
yeah.
And so it was,
I can't remember her last name, but Lek was her first name.
Yes.
And she's been on many animal, you know, Discovery and
Right.
Animal Planet and all that. She's been doing for years, just trying to help the plight of the Asian elephants over
Right.
there. Elephants that have been abused their entire lives, made to work, logging, and I mean, many of them have had injuries from stepping on landmines, and
Right.
so she takes them there and pretty much, you know, gives them a beautiful sanctuary to live on, and some of them will actually be introduced back into the wild, what wild is left.
I mean, they love to tout their conservation, but it's all just a farce. I mean, it's just so they can always have a fresh supply of elephants. So, and in fact, I heard, you know, I don't remember hearing as many Ringling Brothers commercials in the past as I did this time. I heard a hell of a lot of Ringling. I heard a lot on the radio, and then I also heard one that was not about the circus, but it was about Ringling's contribution to conservation. It wasn't even promoting the circus. It was just another one that they threw in about their conservation efforts.
I guess the reason that I was compelled to join is just anytime an animal's suffering for profit, it doesn't feel right to me, and I feel like I need to stand up and, you know, speak against it. And we sometimes don't even know that, you know, that happens, or that, you know, we're doing these things that impact other creatures, and, you know, that we're profiting off of it. And it's important to just bring awareness to people, because people, you know, sometimes do it without even knowing that they're taking part in it, or that they're taking part in something that's really negative and hurtful. So just to bring awareness, I think.